I used to, before I came home to myself, before I rejected all that was not working in my life and trusted my intuition to guide me to my authenticity, to my divinity, I, as an empath, had not had strict boundaries, which I do now, and I would not like coming to crowded places because I didn't know how to not absorb everything and not to be overwhelmed and overstimulated by it. But now I look at it as a challenge and a way to step through the fear of anything, because that's what you always should do when you are a divine being and you trust in God's divine plan for your life. There's no reason to fear anything ever again. And you'll look at things in the past that scared you to death, and you'll absolutely laugh your butt off at them now because you saw that there was nothing to worry about or to be in fear about or to have anxiety over. And it was really silly for you to have overreacted, and you'll see it as just that in this present version of yourself. So I sharpen my discernment when I'm in crowds now. Of course, I've always paid attention to everything. I don't miss a beat. If you think I do, then you're playing yourself, because I'm playing dumb. So in trying to play me, you're playing yourself. You'll eventually see that in time. I don't have to point it out to you. But I love sharpening my discernment in crowds. Yesterday when I was at the park, I saw two girls walking a dog. And immediately, upon seeing them and not reading their energy, I think, oh, that's beautiful, a dog, I love seeing dogs. I had another dog almost jump off a leash yesterday to come into my energy, and it was precious. But after I passed these young ladies, I read their energy. It was very dense. It was very heavy. It wasn't very pleasant at all. And once they made their way down their path and I made mine, and we crossed again, the second girl, who wasn't with the dog, had her phone out and on me. And I thought, I knew it. I knew it. It just took time for it to show itself as what it was, but I read it and I knew, without knowing what they would do or say or anything like that, I knew that their energy was low vibrational. And when you're in these positions, I had a guy who was very much about gang stalking and posted paragraphs on one of my shorts about street theater and energy weapons and things that the CIA have admittedly used against people to confuse and basically drive them crazy, to manipulate their energy, things like that, to disrupt vibrations and intercept downloads and all of those things. But he wrote, after I guess he had started following me, and he saw a few more of my other things, that we weren't exactly aligned, because I don't feed into all of that stuff. I could have gotten my phone out. I could have started recording this girl back. You can tell when somebody's recording you when they're looking at their phone or when they're holding it directly, like aiming it at you for content. And I've seen it. So I know I'm pretty well versed on it, but I do not let that dictate any part of my life. If someone wants to be your paparazzi, let them. All that does is elevate me more into a star status than you probably ever wanted it to. Your intention was to make me feel paranoid or scare me or make me annoyed or try to lash out or react to that in some way. Whatever you can get is what you want, basically. Trying to push a button or trigger me, but it doesn't. Like, I love my fan club. I want my haters to motivate me. I want anyone to see that the energy that you send to me is not going to land the way that you want it to land, that I use it to build myself up. I let it expand me. Your focus on me, your focus on what you want to grow, is not going to grow in the magnitude of lower density. It is not going to grow in low vibrations. It is not going to shift my perspective. It's not going to shift my mood. It's going to do the exact opposite. Whatever mood that I'm in already, it's going to elevate that. I'm going to put that energy into the focus of what I want to grow, not what you want to grow. And I want to encourage anyone out there that thinks gang stalking is ruining their life, because they only have power over you if you give that power away. But this gentleman, he commented that I am dangerously confused. And I'm not confused about none. Like, let's get rid of that right now. But what he focuses on is what he wants me to focus on. And that's simply never going to be the case. Like, ever, ever, ever. I've read these things. I've commented on these things. I've made videos on these things when I first realized it was happening to me, and I didn't really know how long, but I called out several things. Called out people by name, not first and last name, but enough for them to know who I was talking about. And I've had people confirm this to me. I've had people bring it up as grasping at straws to call me crazy. But it happens. It very much happens. It's just that I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I called it out for what it is. I recognize it when I see it. But just like being sad, I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to release it and let it go. I'm not going to wallow in it. I'm not going to make it the focus of my life, the focus of the way that I move, the way that I think, change the way that I am. None of that. I'm not going to let it change anything about me. I'm focused on where I am going, and where I'm going is somewhere beautiful without any of that stuff as part of me. It can be part of them, and they can do what they want. They can take money to stalk people. They can take money to try and put people in fear or paranoia. They can do whatever they want. But when I feel the energy, I'm going to take it and I'm going to transmute it. I'm going to alchemize it. And that's what I encourage all of you guys to do as well, because staying in that not dangerously confused place keeps you focused on your street theater. Keeps you focused. Okay, there's a channel on YouTube called David A. David, I guess first letter of his last name is A. I'm not sure. But he interviews nothing but what he calls targeted individuals. And there are so many posts on his page which are memorials to others that have ended their life. And he talks a lot about people that have ended their life because of these things and their perception of them, and how it has made them give up and be hopeless. And that's what they want. It's sad to see. I'm saddened every time that I saw every third or fourth post on that page that it was a memorial to someone who had given up, who had let that take over their psyche, who had let that control them. And then when I listened to one interview, that's as deep as I got into it. Now, he posts a lot of things as scripture. He posts a lot of good feedback, good advice for other people to follow. I mean, he is a smart guy. I love the channel. I love what he's trying to do. But they're also focusing on it too, and so therefore it grows. But the interview that I listened to was a guy, and he was talking about how he was going to have to move again, and that it's amping up, that it dies down and then it amps up. And that's because you let it. You are giving your power away to something that is designed to get you in these low vibrational states, to get you in these low densities. It's by design. That's why they're doing these things. And if you let it in, you let it control you, if you voluntarily give your power away to it, then you're going to end up like this guy who's moving paranoid and thinking, not thinking about it, and then thinking about it a lot, and letting his focus turn to it, letting it control his life, constantly giving his power away to it. And you know what he is? He's on medications, lots of them. And that's usually the only time that he leaves his house. They've gotten him to be a recluse. I don't think it's wrong to isolate every now and then if you need it, to not have the distractions, to not have energy vampires feeding off of you. It's gonna happen whether you view yourself as a quote-unquote targeted individual or not. But they want you to isolate yourself permanently so that you don't speak out, so that you don't stand in your truth, so that you don't gain any traction with becoming your authentic self, with giving permission to be divinity, because that's what you are. You are divinity. You are a powerful divine being having a human experience. Period. Who, if you let them get in, when the second girl passed me yesterday with her camera up, I was over halfway done with my walk, and by that time the endorphins were just thriving, and I was like so happy at just being outside and doing what I love to do that I was smiling my butt off, and I was just swinging my water bottle. So capture that because that's all you're gonna get from me. You're not gonna get me scared, you're not gonna get me angry, I'm definitely not gonna react, but I will be my pure, genuine, happy self. The only time that I ever get sad is in moments where, big events might occur. I don't get sad or feel the pain. I've worked through most of that. It doesn't paralyze me. It doesn't keep me stuck. It's important that I show that I'm vulnerable and that I'm human to you guys, because I don't want you to ever think that, just easy peasy, simple, lovely jubbly. Like it's all just sunshine and rainbows over here once you start ascending, and once you start manifesting, and once you start focusing on what you want to grow and you do your shadow work. No, it is not. It's hard. Like I say, it's hard but worth it. I don't ever want to get on here and portray something that it's not, to confuse anyone when they start going through it and they're like, well, she said just do this. No, it's not as simple as that. It hurts. It's hard. It's a long, steady walk to keep on that path, to not regress, to not go back and say, well, I'm going to cover up that pain and numb it. I'm going to run from it. I'm going to run back to the people that hurt me because it was my comfort zone and that's all that I know. No, you have to walk through that fear. You have to step through it, and you have to keep doing it for it to become routine and part of your lifestyle. It's a new mindset. And what do they say? If you do something for 100 days, that's who you are. If you don't make any further changes to it, if you keep walking that path, that's who you are. That's how long you have to keep doing it. I would say at least 100 days. It depends on you, the pace that you go, and what you conquer, and what time that you conquer that, and how successful you are. Things are going to come back up. It's not just going to poof, go away when you start journaling about it, when you start feeling that raw emotion and getting it out, when you start unpacking the traumas and the pain, and who did this, and you did this, and they did that, and I forgive, and start praying for yourself and those people, meditating, connecting to your higher self. That's a long time before that stuff starts to stick, before you've worked through the pain enough to let it go, stop circling back to it, stop doubling down on letting it have control over you, and actually truly release it. And still, even then, you're gonna have moments, but the point is to not be on drugs, to not be on alcohol, to not run to the cabinet or to the restaurant or fast food or wherever to get your fix that covers up that pain, that comforts you, that makes you numb, that gets you out of that without working through it in whatever way, whatever your vice is or whatever they may have been. I have never felt so good in feeling pain as a sober person in my life. It's a game changer, because you won't need that stuff anymore. There will be no continuous, just insurmountable amounts of pain for you to work through once you start doing that. For you to need to run to anything like that. There's no need for it anymore. I thought I would smoke weed for the rest of my life. I don't even think about it anymore at all. So it's nothing that I need. It's nothing that I want. I definitely don't want to drink anymore. I love this version of myself. Even if I have pain that I feel from things of the past or anything that might happen to me in the future, I have tools, I have coping skills, I have things that are a part of me now that no one can take away, that I will use in a moment's notice to feel it, acknowledge it, and let it go. I don't keep it stuck in my body. When you repress things, when you use things to cover it up or you run from it, it gets stuck in your body. You will start to feel physical pain and physical ailments and illnesses from this trauma that is stuck and trapped in your body. So when you start feeling these aches and pains, it's not always just old age. Cancer is not old age. There are many carcinogens out there that increase your chances, but secrets, pain, trauma, things trapped in your body, things not able to travel through your body freely, through those channels that God created you in this magnificent body, the most complex instrument that you will ever use, the smartest, most genius technology that you will ever have is where your soul resides, in this body, this avatar, this meat suit. That's gross if people call it that, but it's true. It's true. Many people, when they talk about near-death experiences and how they left their body, that they didn't care about it. Once they look back and they knew, they felt the enormous amount of love that existed outside of this dense environment that we live in on Earth, that they didn't think a second about looking back at that old rag that they were wearing. And now when we're in it, we're like, this is precious. Take care of your body. It's a temple. It is your church. Like, this is where we reside. It's home. Anywhere my body is, it's home. Like, so of course I want to take care of it while I'm in it, but once I know that I'm not going to be in it anymore, it's discard. On to the next. I'm gravitated towards that enormous amount of love, which is collective consciousness that you are part of. Source, God. A lot of people also in near-death experiences would say that the love that they felt upon leaving their body was too much. Like, they thought they were going to explode because it was too much, and they had never experienced that much love and belonging and sense of freedom as they did inside their body. And when people went back, they said it was very painful to re-enter their body because of how low the densities were, how they could not fully be there emanating the love and being the love, because you have to fit yourself in this box. You have to put yourself in this very constricting existence. And go watch some of those things. I haven't talked about them in a while. I haven't listened to them in a while, but near-death experiences will teach you a lot about remembering who you are by what these people experience. Now, there are always going to be people, let the boat go. There's always going to be people that are flogging out here, camouflaging, for those that don't use slang. There's always going to be people out here looking for ways to chase clout and to get their 15 minutes of fame by claiming that they're something, get their views, get their subs, get their whatever. Thanks to my 350 though. By the way, I celebrate each subscriber like it's a million, and I rose 3 since yesterday. I think it's beautiful. Welcome. I love you all. I'm so glad to have you, whether you subscribe or not. Like, feel the love. That's what my channel is about. Helping others. Love is why. Let go, let God. Be the light. We are one. But yeah, there's never going to be people that aren't flogging. So you have to weed through some of that with your discernment and learn. I saw a person on Facebook the other day posting a picture of a cake. Another boat. Posting a picture of a cake that they had sent me to make for them on their birthday like years ago, and they were posting that same picture like it was a cake that they had made for their birthday this year. And I was like, girl, that ain't your cake. Ain't nobody made you that cake. That's that same picture you sent me. I could probably go back up and see See, I would never do that. I would never be that petty. But I'm going to call it out when I see it, because I know this girl is not authentic. She's not genuine. She's not the person that I thought she was. There's a lot of work and shadow work to do there. I wish her the best. I pray for her, but it just ain't that yet. So, but that picture, I was like, she's totally out here in her ego, trying to make people think that that is her cake, when I know better. Please put all that energy and that phlogiston into something good, into working on yourself, into doing something kind for somebody else if you're not ready to work on yourself. Heck, that alone, that's worth it. That's worth the effort. So, but yeah, please don't get stuck in these targeted individual traps, these gang stalking traps. That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want from you. You can't stay stuck there. I'm not denying that it happens. I am not denying. I'm not saying go away, don't tell your story, shut up, hush, nothing like that. I am absolutely letting you know that it happens. You are valid. There is nothing wrong about you speaking your truth, standing in your power, telling your story, helping others with it, but do not stay stuck there. Feel it, acknowledge it, let it go, just like anything else, just like any other thing that you feel, any other emotion that you have. Even if it's happiness, even if it's joy, you feel it, you appreciate it, you're grateful for all of it, and you let it go, because nothing is good or bad in and of itself. And just like that, someone's having the time of their life on that motorcycle, yet it's interrupting my video. Which is it? Is it good or bad? It's only good or bad if we attach some connotation to it, if we attach an emotion, a vibration, some kind of perspective behind it. We do that. That's us. In our mind, in our very limited mind. You have to go within where the growth happens. That is where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It just is. It just is part of existence here. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just something that happened. Appreciate it just the same, no matter what. And if it causes an emotion, if it causes something, don't attach anything to it. Just feel it, acknowledge it, let it go. That's the flow. That's the flow that I want for all of you guys. Not to stay stuck, not to keep feeding into all the videos, all the channels that just keep you commiserating with each other in that quote-unquote targeted individual gang-stalked existence. That is what they want. Don't give them what they want. Let it push you further into that elevated star existence as your paparazzi, as your fan club. Let them do what they're going to do, but you alchemize it into what you need it to be for your life. It doesn't have to be anything that they want it to be. It doesn't have to affect you at all, except for whatever way you want it to affect you, in whatever power that you give to it. That's it. It's up to you. They need your reaction. They need you to dim your light, to be successful at these attempts in whatever label you want to give it. I don't give it any labels anymore, except fan club, except paparazzi, except something that makes me smile and think about my future, because if I'm going to use that to manifest, if I'm going to use that energy as something for myself and alchemize it, I'm going to turn it into, hey, well, I better get used to that feeling, because that's what I'm going to be walking in for the rest of my life. All of the things that they're doing and these hateful low vibrations, it's going to be good for me, because it's going to make me money in the future if I get that kind of attention doing all of the things that I'm going to do. Because watch out. Look out. I'm ready to go. Here comes the sun. And I want you to think that way too. I love you. God loves you. You're never alone. Happy 8/8 Lionsgate portal. Go and manifest. Go and write down your dreams, your goals, bring them to fruition through this transformative, abundant energy that we are in. And you still have a few days after this, so don't stop. Keep going. No ceilings. Love you. Bye.